Hello and welcome. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress Basement Born. And this will probably be a fairly short episode as I'm in between, um, on my lunch break basically for my job. But I thought I'd do a little bit of work and show you guys where I'm at with getting these massive constructions underway. Um, they're still being worked on, but we have made some good progress. As you can see, the road that I put around the border of my map is nearing completion. There's still a good bit that still needs to be done, like that whole side there. The bottom of the map has a few gaps, and then they actually need to place the bricks. I've got the entire foundation pretty much laid for this portion of the fortress. However, nothing up top for it. And I've also pretty much finished this box. I've started adding the second walls up there. But I've stopped for the moment. I may return to it in a little bit, but for right now I think that's good enough. And I kind of, for decorative purposes, actually put down um, two traps. They're using some of those silver blades. Because silver is not a high grade weapons material, I don't expect a lot from them, but they'll probably be nasty to some unsuspecting, poorly armored enemies. So there is that. I'm still working on trying to drain this pond. Let's let things run. And I did set up, so I'm quite proud of myself. I know there's probably a guide somewhere, and I knew it was possible to do, but I was so happy when I kind of worked this out that there is um, it's a way to do a checking, or basically make it where there's a condition for how often things get brewed or done or something. So I set up my brewing where the amount of drinks every day it will check. If there's at least 300, then it's fine. But if it's not 300, then I believe it should make 300 or up to 300. So that's what I'm hoping that does. In fact, I could probably check and see if that's. Of course, it still needs to be checked, so it's probably my manager needs to get on that. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Actually, there's a quick way to check. Uh, he is. Oh, he is managing the work orders. He's not at his desk, but maybe he's returning there soon. I need to find a way to clean up all these clothes, but I'll probably figure that out later. So I was trying to experiment with things to clean up my frame rate. So you may notice there's a lot of wood logs that are gone from the northern part of the map. I used a little bit of Dwarf hack, and I wish I didn't have to, but I was trying to see if maybe if I could lower the amount of items I have, if frame rate would go up, and I think it did, because I actually had frame rate drop a lot, because this finally got cleared out. Um, and basically I just dropped those logs into lava and let the lava burn them up and take care of all that. Another thing I set up, and I haven't. Ooh, someone grew attached to their crossbow. Another thing I did is I went ahead and dug out these rooms, and I want to engrave them. Do I already have it? Oh, I do already have it set to engrave. So they're just really busy right now. But these rooms are where I'm going to put the Baron, and any other high-ranking noble will probably go in these rooms. I tried to break away from the square box formula a little bit. It's not entirely broken away from, but yeah. And I think this little room here, if I have to, I think I have to give them a crypt or a tomb. I may make this into a tomb. So, and another thing to experiment with, like when I have to have big open rooms, like obviously this room has to be open until I get all the rock out of it. Oop, I thought I heard something. Um, has to be open until I get all the rock out of it. I'm going to experiment with high traffic areas, which is something you can do. There's some way to set high and low traffic areas. I don't remember how to do it, but I'll probably experiment with that in between episodes again. But anyways, so this is mostly just a building episode showing you what I've accomplished, what's going on. how bad the frame rate drops to. Fortunately, my recording software doesn't actually drop the frame rate that much. It only drops it like 5, maybe 10 frames, which is a chunk, but it's not terrible. Check on our stockpiles, still aren't. So I'm gonna let this drop to, so it is validated. I'm gonna let that drop for a little bit. You still don't have, maybe I have this inverted. Let's check. I'm so proud of myself, but maybe, change traits, change inequality. Available as at least. So, okay. Is greater than 300. Not satisfied. Or, maybe I need it less than. So when the next check happens, he will order the drinks to be made? I don't I don't rightly know how that works. I'll let the drinks get kind of low for a little bit and actually, you know what? It just makes me too nervous. I'll experiment with. Oh nope, that's the wrong thing. I'll experiment with it a little bit later. Um, Maybe I'll set up a larger number or something. But that is something I want to get working, so I don't have to pay attention to when we get low or when my dwarves might need food and drink. I really wish the dwarves would not use that pond as a shortcut. It makes me kind of nervous, if I'm being honest. Um, Go ahead and just square this off a little bit. Attempt to expand the amount of area the water covers. Because I know it's supposed to evaporate, but it may not reach the temperatures needed for it to evaporate, so I may just need to try and drain it off the edge of the map or something. Could always pour it into cavern layers. That seems like a lot of effort that could possibly go wrong. Ooh, they're almost done with this flooring. Nice. And someone created a masterpiece gold chest. Alright. So those gold chests are going to go into noble rooms. Hopefully they'll keep the nobles appeased and I won't have to deal with them mostly. That's really what nobles are about. But, just constantly checking, going back and forth. Nothing else, so since, oh, what's his name? There he is, I think. Oh, wrong button. Q? No. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I haven't played in a few days. I have been doing things in between, but not as much as I should. So I really think this guy has got to be dead. I don't know how or why, but he doesn't seem to be moving, or he just can't find a way into my fortress. I don't know. But basically, that Forgotten Beast, I don't know if that's preventing others from coming onto the map, but I know the one... No, that can't be right, because I know we got the other one that was up top. But sadly, nothing like that has come by. There should be an extreme amount of Forgotten Beasts still left. Also, I started mining, trying to get some more silver. I'm actually kind of low on it. In fact, I know why this says whetstone. It's just because the stone above it is or damp stone. It's because the stone above it is in water. Oh, yeah. Which means it's going to be impossible to mine out the rest of that. I think there's a way to ignore the damp stone warnings or whatever. Which is not something I want to leave on for a long period of time because I have a feeling it also triggers with the warm stone. You want to pay attention to when that happens. Also, I used the dig V command to just find the shape of those veins and dig them out. It's simpler to do that than try and dig out a whole bunch of rock, especially adding a lot of space that will slow down my game a little bit. Let's see. Nope, I got paused again. Yeah, so all in all, this isn't really going to be that exciting of an episode. I still haven't figured out how I want to lay this out. I know I want to have like a double layer, like in the inside of this tower. I'm probably going to build a second wall with maybe either a drawbridge or some sort of door setup, and then that will begin, like, go down a little bit and then maybe over to avoid my main fortress, and then we'll go down and try to find our way all the way down. Trying to avoid, like, moving across and over and stuff as much as possible, but still accomplishing our goals. I swear I keep clearing out the trees here, and I think they keep growing back. Alright, let that go. I know my dwarves are pretty much, they're all occupied. You can see my idlers hovering around between 0 and like 5, I think. And it's just because a lot of them are designated for menial tasks, especially these building the floors tasks. Though I really should. The more wood I get rid of. Set that to be there. And that there. It is really nice when you see all the dwarves like following one after the other to put in these walls. Now let's see. Too close to the edge to do there. Yeah, I think I checked that before I built this. And basically I'm just going to seal this off. While I don't want to seal off my main tower and just make it too easy for me to hole up in there, I kind of want to seal off this because this will have a direct access to my fortress, and I don't really want it to get me in a lot of trouble. I am thinking, though, that maybe I'll use wood, 2 tiles of it to encroach around all my obsidian floor. 1, to keep trees further away, and 2, to give it a nice little aesthetic sidewalk kind of look. Make this look like it's a dwarven city of some sort, an above ground dwarven city. I don't know. If you got some opinions on it, let me know. Let's see. And make sure all this stuff is claimed. Every once in a while, I'll just go through here and set a whole bunch of stuff to be claimed. That way it's going to be used. Oh, construction was suspended. Let's stop that. Just kind of go through here. Oop, there was some that was suspended. Suspended. Alright, active now. Yeah. Basically this gets, very menial and stuff, but what your work comes to, what it shows for when you're done, damp stone located, is the real prize. Huh, how is that not damp stone? I guess like they're just following a trail or something. Yep, there we go. Now it's stamped stone. So honestly, that should be enough gold to keep our dwarves satisfied for a while. Not that we're really using gold. I might start making gold trap components of some sort, just to sell like the silver ones. And this is yet another mining floor that I will need to seal off. And it's kind of funny, like, look, here's this mining floor, here's this mining floor. And honestly, I'd prefer to do it like this, but I think, I don't know, it seems really weird, but I would have thought I would have come across at least one vein of actual minerals, like silver or something, not just gemstones. But in here, I just kind of like poked out and found some. Not even very far. So it's kind of like it's not really worth it to do a grid layout on this map for some reason. And I think it's because at the very start, if I remember correctly, this had few metals or something like that. Few shallow metals and one deep metal or something. And the shallow metals were the gold. Meh. What I'd give for some just plain iron. Hematite, magnite, or lignite, I think are the three iron ores. Which is kind of a shame because you have like a 1 in 3 chance to get that, and somehow I missed out. Let's see. Alright. I am definitely ready for summer to be over. And all these recordings, trying to keep the noise down. I try to turn my fan down, but man, it just gets warm in here. But hopefully, that problem will be fixed here in about a month or so. There might be, so you might have noticed a gap in video uploads, and then there'll probably be another one towards the end of um, September, beginning of October. Yeah, sorry, beginning of October. Um, just because I'll be moving, so hopefully I'll be able to get a small backlog set up for that. But understand that if there's not as many videos uploaded during that time, that's why. Let's build T. Let's build a weapon trap. And how many of these? Done. And we'll build one more. Mostly I'm just kind of going for symmetry and stuff. It's like I said, these are going to hurt unarmored opponents and some lightly armored opponents, but most opponents that are wearing real armor are just going to walk through that without too much of an issue, just because of the nature of the silver quality in weapons. Believe it or not, silver is a quite flimsy material. Oh, and one other thing I started to accomplish, I built a second squad. Right now they should be training. Um, let's see. Let's go look at units. Should be, yes, recruits. Soldier, no activity. Why aren't they training? Uh, is the barracks not big enough? Oop, what happened? Oh. Is the barracks not big enough? Um, train, cobalt sharks. Let's see if they'll come in here and actually start doing their training. Oh, let's take a look at these guys. What you doing? He got into argument with Ushrir Weisbooks. That was satisfying. Is satisfied after getting into an argument. Oh, this is one of those dwarves. Well, what are they doing? Ah, go to individual combat drills. Alright, cool. So hopefully this means they'll start practicing and becoming better fighters. I don't believe the weapons that they have are too dangerous. I mean, they are dangerous, as a weapon should be, but nothing too outrageous, I don't think. Build some beds. So build another little um, barracks room. And I'm probably going to build a small armory or something that'll bring in their weapons and stuff that should be used specifically for their training. But yeah, that's pretty much all of it. Sorry it's, again, not another exciting episode. It'll probably be... I don't know, I'll probably have at least 2 more episodes of just minor updates showing you what's accomplished, probably showing you when the human and the dwarven caravan make it. And then hopefully by that time we'll either have had some type of, earth-shattering colossal monster or something, or we will have begun our long descent down. And I've got to start planning how I'm going to do that. So that's going to be fun. So I think that's going to be all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this has been Dwarf Fortress. Have a good one.